Mr. Trump said that he heard Mr. Bush very clearly and what Mr. Bush said. I think women all over this country heard very clearly what Mr. Trump said.
Carly Fiorina, during last night's debate, responding to a question on Donald Trump's comments about her appearance. And you heard that applause after she delivered that observation. Ms. Fiorina's responses on key questions concerning foreign policy and Planned Parenthood drew notice from a whole lot of folks, and a lot of people on this day after are calling her the winner of last night's debate. And some go further, saying her success in this debate could have female voters flocking to the GOP. So for more on that question, let's turn to our panel. First, from Newsmax, New York, radio and TV commentator Ellis Henican. And Skyping in from Alexandria, Virginia, Republican strategist and Georgetown University professor Brad Blakeman. Brad, first to you. Can Carly bring the women everybody thought would stay with the Democrats and with Hillary? Will those voters come to the GOP?
I think there's certainly an opportunity for that to happen. You know, Hillary is tanking with women now. We're seeing it in the polls. And you have a fresh, exciting, professional woman like Carly Fiorina come, who's an outsider. Seems that that's what the electorate likes in 2015. Perhaps in 2016 they will as well. But she really won even taking the stage because she took on CNN, who initially had her off the stage. I think they're happy today that they invited her on because clearly she outperformed her first performance and warranted to be at the primetime debate.
Ellis, something tells me you might be a bit more skeptical of Carly Fiorina and her attraction of female voters from the Democratic Party and from the ranks of the independents.
Not at all, JD. I think you guys ought to run her. I mean, she did so well against Barbara Boxer the last time. She did such a terrific job laying off all those people at Hewlett-Packard. Donald Trump says she's an attractive lady. I think you guys ought to make her the nominee. Go ahead.
Well, Brad, we heard as only Ellis can deliver it, only about a paragraph filled with vitriol and opposition research. But what Ellis points out, will that be the Achilles heel for Carly?
Yeah, I think Carly's got a great record. Look, she was a tough CEO at a tough time in the tech world. She made really tough decisions. But, you know, one of the directors, as she pointed out last night, who fired her, has now said that was one of the worst decisions he ever made for Hewlett-Packard. In fact, he took out a full-page ad. And she quite correctly went up against Donald Trump, where in Donald Trump's world, everything is fantastic. And she pointed out that he had 4 business bankruptcies and did not turn Atlantic City around. It was one of the reasons why Atlantic City is a ghost town today.
Well, while the Republicans were on stage at the Reagan Library, Hillary Clinton stopped by The Tonight Show. Let's take a listen to the interplay between Jimmy Fallon and Hillary Clinton and then get your reaction.
But I could go more stream of consciousness. You know, this is a huge election. You never know what might happen. Let's get rid of the people that don't agree with us and only talk to the people who do. You could do that without a teleprompter.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. All right, yeah. That was a good impression. If I need something, I'm going to call you.
So Hillary offering an impersonation of Donald Trump. You know, Ellis, that may be the most effective I've seen Hillary and the most really spontaneous she's appeared on the campaign trail thus far.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, that's what she ought to be doing. I'll tell you what she shouldn't do is do this thing where announce that next week she's going to be spontaneous, you know. Hillary's problem, in the end, guys, is not that she's any more corrupt than anybody else or that she's more duplicitous. I mean, JD, you know that's true of all politicians. The problem is that she lacks charm. I mean, she doesn't have charm. You would think that having breakfast with Bill all those years, she'd have learned a little personal charm. Maybe if we're seeing a glimmer of it, I'd bring it on.
And maybe opposites attract. And I just got to take issue with Ellis's premise that all politicians, it's not a matter of being more corrupt than others. Bradley, this email thing still remains a problem for her, does it not? 30 seconds.
Oh, look, it's only going to get worse. The fact is now that we know that the server has not been wiped, and it certainly wasn't done with a towel. and the FBI is going to work. The fact that we haven't heard from them doesn't mean that there's nothing there. She has serious trouble. More to come on emails. And
more to come with you both when we get back together to visit in the days ahead. For now, a spirited discussion and an interesting impersonation from Hillary Clinton, although to be fair, perhaps Carly Fiorina was channeling an American impersonation of Margaret Thatcher last night. That's the way it appeared at the Reagan Library. Ellis, Brad, to you both, our thanks. Now, you heard what they had to say. We'd like you to weigh in. Do you agree or disagree? Send your comments to newsmaxtv.com/comments. There's more ahead, so stay with us here on Newsmax Prime.